Hello and welcome back to the Shmuseum, where we're transforming this former milking parlour into my dream garage. We're taking you behind the scenes of the journey, and we've been working hard, and there are already plenty of updates to share, most notably the arrival of the Shmeemobiles. We now have the cars here inside the garage in a new layout, and if I can say so myself, it is looking stunning. It's very much a pinch moment, but we've also been to collect plenty of memorabilia from the storage. A lot of things I'd like to show you through today as well. Some of the collections and things that will be on display, as we've got a few tasks to undertake today, some errands to run, some things we need to buy to make it a little bit more inhabitable. But we'll also be solving the EV charging woes that I have with the Porsche Taycan, thanks to the installation of the CTEK Chargestorm Connected 2, which will mean I can get the car charged up here during the day, making life significantly easier. So this is really and truly a special moment, but we've got a lot to do, a lot to crack on with today as we work on transforming the Shmuseum. When we brought all of the cars in, we parked them initially all the way along this wall, side by side, and we had 11 cars in total. I had originally thought that we would actually only get 10 there, so that was a nice bonus. The garage, we're still in the early stages of working out what's going to go where, but the plan for this wall is that it will become the storage side. So we'll have the cars parked along here, and you can hear there's construction going on in the background at the moment, with the potential to be able to add car lifts as well. So we can double that up and have 16 cars on the storage side, all of which at the end will obviously have the office and facilities and things downstairs with the games mezzanine up top, with a fantastic view over the entire space. But because the garage is a little bit bigger than I was originally intending, for the time being, we've pulled everything quite far forward. And if you come and have a look around the back, there's genuinely enough space here that you could park another 4 or 5 cars nose to tail down the back. But it just makes things look a little bit better for the time being. Of course, they will move, but lining everything up and getting this all looking pretty was effectively the first task for Tom as garage manager.
Indeed it was, yes. It's very easy to understand how you made the whoopsie on the floor with the Senna. It doesn't like to creep.
No, not the easiest, and nor probably, as you've now experienced, is jumping from one car to another, because there's a lot to think about, even simple things, right? Electric handbrakes, fly-off handbrakes,
where everything is, where the start button is on the Senna. You're always looking around and go, yeah, okay,
and how you get out of the Senna and all that kind of stuff. So
yes.
that was your first mission, but it is looking incredible.
I think it does look very well. We've done very well with the layout, especially over this side, you know, where we've got our boxed off area over there.
Yeah, this is all the kind of temporary setup for the moment. While we're feeling the place out and getting an understanding for how this is going to go, we've set up that corner, basically using the boxes from storage and the flags to make it this temporary office lounge. And these cars are all very spaced out. Of course, we will have the SLS Black Series back here soon, and the GT Black Series will arrive, and probably some other additions as well. But you could probably fit 2 more cars back here, and if we don't put other cars back here, we could just have a coffee table and some chairs.
Table and chairs. This could be a nice little chill area, looking out over all the cars.
This is going to be a very evolving process. And we also, which I've been playing with, have the little electric go-kart.
We do. I haven't had a go on that yet, so I think we need to get our sponsor flag, set out a track, and start setting some lap times, Tim.
Some figure of 8s around the Supercars.
Most definitely. It won't go wrong, I promise.
It doesn't sound like the wisest idea that we've ever had. Now, we've got a lot of things to sort out. We've brought over some of the memorabilia and car parts. There's a lot that we've not yet brought over. We had a go at trying to work out what was going wrong with the Sega Rally, and it looks like we might need a new computer for that. So if anybody knows about those things, please do reach out. We would love to get some help to try and get it up and running. But so far, it's all on track.
It is indeed. It's going well. I just now need to, as you said, we need to get that running so I can set a lap time quicker than you.
Game on, and we'll work out what else is happening today. One of the primary objectives today is to finally solve my electric car charging woes that I've been experiencing since I jumped in at the deep end and bought the Porsche Taycan Turbo S, knowing in advance that I have absolutely zero ability to charge it at home. Now that means I have been wholly reliant upon taking the car to the rapid chargers, destination chargers, service station chargers to try and manage the UK's EV charging infrastructure. And as you might have seen from some of my Shmeemobile 50 videos, needless to say, it's been an immensely frustrating experience at times. Sometimes it's been brilliant, sometimes it has been a massive headache. Now the Taycan is a fantastic car to daily drive. It's smooth, it's calm, it's quiet, the ride is amazing, it's effortless, it feels in many ways almost like a Rolls-Royce. It is a glorious thing to use on a daily basis. The problem is how do you charge it up? But I've been persevering through knowing that eventually we would be here at the Shmuseum and I would have the ability to either plug it into the wall or to install a dedicated EV charger. Now at the moment, if we come on through, the car is plugged in to the regular UK 3-pin main socket on the wall. You have the Type 2 connector, and on the Taycan, you actually have a charging port on both sides. You can only have one open at a time. You can't use them simultaneously or anything crazy like that. The CCS port for the rapid charging is only on the other side, and you can have an onboard upgraded charger on this side. Using the dedicated factory supplied Porsche charger at the moment, if we wake this up, you can see that we have charged 5.48 kilowatt hours in just over 4 hours of charging. Now that's about how much it uses if I go from here to home and back, but not a whole lot else. Of course, for the full day, if we're here for 10 hours, we'll get about 12 kilowatt hours of charge or something like that into it with the 93 kilowatt hour battery, but it's not exactly the perfect solution. It would take about 2.5 days to charge the Taycan from 0 to 100% on a regular 3-pin main socket, which is where this comes in from CTEK, the Chargestorm Connected 2 device. A huge thanks to CTEK for being one of the partners of the Shmuseum, but effectively this is going to be mounted about here on the wall, and this uses 3-phase electricity, so it has a direct line from the distribution board over to this. It has 2 sockets, one on either side, so you can actually simultaneously charge 2 cars at the same time, and it's a 22 kilowatt charger. Now to give you some perspective, that means if you had the optional upgraded 22 kilowatt onboard charger in the Taycan, you could do 0 to 100% in 4.5 hours. With my car, which doesn't have that, it only has the 11 kilowatt charging capability, it will take about 9 hours, but realistically that means during a full day or overnight, either way it could go from empty to being full, and that is going to be a game changer. Now this uses the cables we have here, which we've actually just had out to try and measure this a bit, to work out how to best place it so that we can, well, charge the 2 cars at once should we ever need to. But that is going to change the EV experience tremendously when we've been able to install it today. So we're joined by Martin, the electrician, who's just popped in with the van to get all of this wired up, to get it ready and to start having some fast charging. While the work is going on to install the EV charger, we will come back to that shortly because I am now with Puppy,
hey,
the boss of the Shmuseum, and we need to go and run a few errands. We need to buy a whole load of stuff.
it's like moving all over again. We need a desk, we need brushes, brooms, bin bags, so
bin.
much. Yes, a bin.
Just basic
Everything.
stuff we need to go and get. So the G63 has the seats folded down. We are going to take that on out, head over to the Ikea, because why not? It's the right place to go to get all of these bits and pieces temporarily, because we don't entirely know how this is going to work out down the line.
But I want a really big desk. If I'm the boss, I want a big desk.
We will need to get some desks. We need somewhere to sit. It might sound very obvious, but right now we don't have that. So let's go and hop into the G and get this started and head from here over. Not too far from here. Oh, it's actually telling us it wants to be run. The battery's a little bit low. We need a CTEK charger on that, clearly. And we'll get this started up. There we go, sounds beastly. And we will head on out and get this out on the road. We've had a quick errand to run on the way. Something very, 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 very exciting. And now we're sitting in some traffic, which is not what anybody wants, but afternoons anywhere near London. But we are going to get to Ikea. We don't really know exactly what we're buying, and then we'll get it back to the Shmuseum, where the guys are making good progress on the EV side of things and the CCTV stuff as well. I'd just like to get back there before they're all finished, because I'd like to see some bits and pieces myself too, and just make sure I know exactly what's going on. And then of course, there's still a lot of memorabilia stuff I'd like to show you guys, so stay tuned for that. But first, we shall get to Ikea and go buy the things we need. We have made it then. I don't know yet how busy it's going to be here. I haven't been in a while actually. We've made a few funny videos along the way, when I convinced TGE to come here with the Pista in blue and yellow, and also when we parked just over that aside with the Ferrari FF to buy the bookcase that I used to keep at home my model cars in which now needs something much nicer for a permanent display and a much larger display, it has to be said, when we get that set up as well. So I guess the G63 is a more suitable car to come here to do this kind of stuff. We'll just work out where to park though, and hopefully be able to fit everything we need into the boot of this thing.
What do we got here?
Well, we've got some chairs, we've got some tables, we've got compulsory blue and purple chairs.
I think that's quite appropriate.
The colours of the McLarens, Senna and 675 LT chairs. And then, if I carefully move all of these off, this is all the stuff that we're planning to just use temporarily, remember? It says I'm about to drop one of those, carefully does it. Then we've got these tables, 2 white, 2 grey-black I think they call them, checkered flag. We'll make them like opposites, and that will work fine.
That will look fun.
Bins, brushes and stuff, and all the table legs.
We didn't buy napkins or candles, which are kind of obligatory to Ikea.
We've left Ikea without napkins and candles, but somebody has left some random boxes on the bin. They clearly didn't need those. We got a bin though, not one of these, but we have got some nice cheap bins. Cheap and cheerful. It's one of those kind of funny things, but it does the job perfectly. It's exactly what we need for now to get up and running. There's bits of stuff everywhere.
And we can get it all in the G. That's the other thing that I think's quite good.
I'll make a base and then put the tables down on it, because those aren't very well packaged. It'd be really easy to get those damaged.
Remember when we moved into our flat in Frankfurt and we put an entire wardrobe into a Bentayga?
Into a Bentayga indeed. I wonder how many people remember that.
That was good fun. There's so many Ikea runs like that.
Okay, tables. Get these in. Do some gym class with IKEA tables. Kind of.
I mean, there's plenty of space.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that it's not going to be fuller.
Do you want to go back and buy more?
I'm going to go and buy more stuff to fill up a G-Wagon with IKEA shopping. This is too simple, too easy. Wow. Those will slide around while we're driving, that's for sure. Unless we're careful with something fruity. Careful with how all of this goes in. It says purple chairs. The question is, which colour chair are you going to have?
I think I'm going to go for the purple chair, just because I like the LT so much.
Yeah.
And then I think I would love to have like a grey desk. That would be nice.
So we're all going to have different combinations.
Yeah.
One purple chair with one grey desk. It's the little things. It's the little things that matter. That way around. Woo. Getting somewhere here. Oh, I'm tired already. Not that this is particularly hard work. It's just that it's a long day. Every day is a long day.
By the way, your watch matches the G-Wagon quite well.
It does. Cerulean blue. Rock and roll. Okay, these legs are actually more irritating than you would think. I don't even know how to hold them. Do 6 at a time and make some progress. On the chairs.
Yeah.
Just careful when we open the door at the other end. Woo. Right, just some waters, pop the trolleys away. And we are good to go.
Thank you for my water.
This is not a good trolley. It just spins and decides to go that way.
I feel like it's a good trolley for drifting though.
We are back at base and I can see a charger installed on the wall, so I'm looking forward to plugging that in and turning it on and seeing how it does. Given we've got to unload some things and we don't really want to carry them over the top of a Ford GT and a Senna, I actually need to work out where to park this thing. What do you think?
Just right in the middle.
We could take stuff around the end here.
Yeah.
That's probably the safest way. Okay, let's just dump
And
this there.
not crash the Segway that's down there.
Don't run it over. Okay, let's go get unloaded. This was a really bad idea. I think I'm going to drop a chair, but I'm going to run them around. Go and put them away safely.
How are we doing, guys?
Making progress with the table, sitting on the chair that was kindly made by Tom, who is making chair number 3.
So I can sit on one.
So, yeah.
I'll get the last chair. I mean, in fairness, I am sat on a chair. It's just not there yet.
My one very big mistake was not purchasing anything electric to make this easier. Drills, screwdrivers, more toolkits. We're relying on a single screwdriver from a BMW.
Fortunately, the BMW comes with its own toolkit, so we're not completely stranded.
No, but that was foolish on my behalf. Anyway, we're making some progress. Jump ahead a little bit, and we have made some progress. We're also joined by Mark.
Hello.
Schmark150 is here with us. We've got some tables, we've got some chairs.
I'm very pleased with the corner desk that I got over there.
It's not the most professional
Not at all.
setup, but this will certainly do for the time being. We've got some tables and chairs, fridge, TV under a dust sheet at the moment, deck chairs for the sitting area for the time being, a wall of stuff that we'll take a look at in a moment, our flag wall, we could call it, that you come through to exit from the office for the time being, and then memorabilia and things aplenty. And I'd like to run through some of the bits and pieces that we have here.
How long have you been collecting these?
Well, the model cars quite a while now. So this entire stash are model cars that used to be at home, as I said earlier, when we bought the model car cabinet from Ikea with the Ferrari FF, and they're all painted to match that lot, where possible. There are some exceptions and some newer cars that haven't been added yet, but for example, we have the Ferrari FF in Le Mans Bleu with the crema interior.
Yeah, that looks beautiful.
We have, what else is open to show you? Go way back, one of the first Shmeemobiles, the Audi R8 V10 Spider in midnight purple back at the time, 87 TB. Maybe that number plate will make a comeback at some point in future. If you have a look down here, we've got the Shmini, the classic Mini. We've got the Aston Vantage Roadster that I got to film with again quite recently. Basically the whole lot in all of those boxes, but I don't want to unbox them until we've got somewhere to put them because they're just going to get dusty. And that's not going to be good for anybody. So those are staying boxed up carefully for the moment, making sure we have no trouble. Then we have like a Lego shop.
I feel like this is your new obsession.
These are not for sale. These are mostly not built yet. And this isn't even actually all of it. I can think of one or two things that are missing from even this stash. But of course, we've got the big ones, the Sion, the new 488 GTE, the 911s, we've got the GT3 RS, of course, and then all the stuff up the top is actually the new Speed Champions range, which includes the Koenigsegg Jesko, which I'm looking forward to getting built, Supra, Elva, this is cool, Ford GT Heritage, of course I'm going to like that, aren't I? Looks awesome. Then what else do we have? We've got the Dodge kit, and we've got the Corvette as well, which is pretty nice. So at some point in the future, when I'm not sure if it's going to be me or Puppy or someone else.
I think it's probably going to be me, but remember when we did this yarn together?
Yep.
That was last year.
Blasted through that. At some point,
It was still 10 hours though.
It was. This is going to be a project for down the line. Also here, we've got some remote control cars. We've got some stuff from Model Space, a build it yourself Ford GT. We've got the games console stuff, TV things, various bits and pieces. Lots more. Oh yeah, the Yankee Overdrive from way back. All sorts of things. It's going to be a bit of a toy shop here. Maybe even with more of these. We're still trying to get to the bottom of it, but it looks like the PCs in here from some phone calls that Tom has been making are going to need to go back to be investigated properly. And we'll see if we can get that back to life. I'm sure we can get it back to life. It's just a case of what's it going to cost and how long is it going to take. Coming over here though, check this out. The charger is on the wall.
That's exciting. That's really exciting.
There's, however, one little hiccup, which has nothing to do with the charger. Our distribution board needs another, let me get this right, 32 amp, 3-phase MCB, a breaker, which is on order. So when we get that, because this has its own breakers, when we get that over there, we'll be able to activate this and turn it on. For the time being, the car is still running on the very slow charger. And we're into the evening now. So what are we at? 14 kilowatt hours in 10.5 hours. Yeah, not the fastest thing in the world by a long shot. I mean, like I said, I only used 5 or 6 kilowatt hours to get from here back home and back again. But that's, we're going to get this up and running, and then everything will be saved from that front. Now, we've been stacking everything over this way, literally stacking everything. If we try and squeeze on through, because I'm going to pick out a couple of things. We're going to go through a lot of this in way more detail soon. Let's just start. This was new today, actually. The guys came past from Road Race Rally, GT4 design. How cool is that? That's really nice. Framed artwork piece, obviously, for the GT4, which is over on the other side.
I mean, that looks epic.
I love the gold surround to match with the wheels. That's one of my favorite photos to summarize a moment I think I've ever had. 650S Spider, Gumball 3000 in Stockholm, the start of the rally, just everything about this. Here with Max Cooper, founder of the rally. We've got my friend Jason, we've got Seb in the car as well. Basically, if that wasn't a vibe, a moment, a theme, like a buzz, nothing was. I'm looking forward to showing as well what's in this box, what's in this, but we'll get to all of these in due course, not quite yet. Got a couple of things hidden away for now, charging cables. This is cool. That's an illuminated Ford logo.
Yeah, I remember giving that to you.
Indeed you did. That was a present from Puppy. That's going to be plugged in somewhere. An old dealership logo. Same with the Ferrari bat logo. We need to get this connected up properly. I've actually got an LED lighting kit for this somewhere. I think, is it lurking? Yeah, just lurking underneath. A whole load of stuff to go through. In fact, that's a cool box as well. We'll get to that at some point. Helmets, clothing, random things. Blue traffic cones, obviously. Broken piece of Taycan carbon fiber. That's where it got damaged in the garage. But all of these fun bits are just keeping everything basically, because why not? What do we have up here? Cheap car covers. We're going to throw all of those over when we have any work being done so that everything stays basically in good shape. The Kuberth tyre cushions that we use sometimes when the cars are left standing for an extended period. We've got a pile of wheels and tyres. I'm like, what's in here? Mysterious box. We'll get to that at some point.
It's going to be such a big surprise when you unpack everything, and I guess you have forgotten about many things that you actually have.
There's going to be so much stuff that we've forgotten. And this isn't everything. We need to do multiple runs with the G63. Yeah. Or a van, again, to get more stuff over. But yeah, good times. There's a lot here and a lot for us to continue exploring. But I think before we can get too deep into that, we need to clean and tidy up a little bit more. And then we can crack on. You might have noticed we also have a visiting car. Mark has come in the Alpina XD3. That's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, it's brand new. No, brand new. It's from last year, but I got it second hand. And I got it in May with 11,800 kilometers on it, and I crossed 20,000 today.
That's a pretty good effort. Alpina's distinct blue. Talk me through XD3. I mean, X3.
It's based on the X3 M40D, so it's a diesel, and 800 Newton meters, almost 400 horsepower, I believe. And for me, it's brilliant because it's extremely long-range fuel tank. I can do more than 900 kilometers on the tank. It's super comfy, has Comfort Plus settings, so it's just really comfy to drive and under the radar, and yeah, it's just a brilliant machine to cruise, just to make miles in. It's like miles-eating machine, and it's brilliant because I don't want to have my Turbomeister M2 being driven much, so I want to have it, only being used for special occasions. The Mini is getting a redesign and being used for the racetrack, so this is the brilliant daily.
And it looks good. Wheels, pinstripes, details.
I added those. Car was from a manager. Let me open it for you. So it was a manager car at Alpina in Germany, and it was on the 20-inch winters. And I asked him to put it on 22s, add the striping, and I have the flappy pedals behind the steering wheel. And we changed the logo on the front, which was a darker silver, and it's now light silver, so that's what we changed. Well, for the rest we kept everything the same. So, and this is, it's just a machine to eat miles. I just need to change the plate. That's the only thing I need to do. So it's going to have a special plate. Yeah.
If the experience is anything to go by,
it's going to be
special is going to be a word.
No, it's going to be similar to the BMW plate, but then some things moved around, so people online can guess what it will be. But that's the intention, and the car is just to just transport me around Europe. Really, that's what it's for.
And the other guys have just come in as well, by the way, with the G63. And this is something we need to work out here. It's pouring with rain outside. We don't yet have kind of a plan for dirty cars coming in. Obviously, it's parked at the moment in the reception room. In the future, with the nose having just smashed through into the office, that's not good either. That's not going to be ideal down the line. We'll need to come up with some kind of plan for what we're going to do with that. Right now, I don't know. What we've not yet played with today is, of course, the go-kart. it would be wrong not to pull this out now that it's charged up, because we were misbehaving with it before. It is a little bit fiddly to do this though, because you have to plug in the two parts down here somehow. Pull out the power socket, and then this kind of goes in here. Got it! It's connected. Turn it on. Everything beeps away. That's good news. This is, of course, another puppy provided item in cerulean blue. Let's get ready to misbehave a touch. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. Woohoo! I'm not sure if this is wise around the cars, but it's happening anyway, given that there was never an opportunity before now to be able to do this. Step on the gas. No, that's a bad idea. Bail out, reverse, 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 reverse. It doesn't move very quickly in reverse. Okay, let's go. Whoop. I feel like a big kid, but isn't this what having a garage was always going to be about? Being able to do whatever and having fun. Another late evening, but we've got a lot done here. It's actually been quite interesting because the weather outside is atrocious, and because of having the insulated roof and walls, you don't actually hear all that much of it, just some gutters, I guess, running off over in that kind of direction. But that's quite nice. It's also, a few people have asked about this in terms of the temperature and obviously the insulation. It's summer and technically as warm as it kind of gets around here at this time of year. And inside it stays very cool. We think when it gets to winter, we'll probably want to do something to warm it up. And with the office, obviously we'll have a few different options when it comes to that. I hope for the next update, we're going to have the CTEK charger up and running, which is going to be a game changer. Even now, we've only got a little bit more charge, obviously back into the Taycan. And I think also, we're soon to have some very special visitors as well. Our first, I suppose, official visitors from the social media space to come and visit the Shmuseum, which will be pretty exciting as well. So we just need to probably tuck the G63 back into the far corner and then pull the Taycan on out, and I will be heading back with that. But at least we've got a few more bits and pieces in here that we really needed to get the place a little bit more inhabitable, as I said earlier, and I cannot wait to get all of the memorabilia side of things out and about as well. But that's it from the Shmuseum for today.